This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, or to find out how you can volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Alice Atwater. Good Things to Eat, as Suggested by Rufus. By Rufus Estes. Section 11. Vegetables. Brussels sprouts. Wash well in salted water about 2 pounds of Brussels sprouts, and pick them over well. Place them on a fire in a saucepan filled with water, a little salt, and bicarbonate of soda. With the lid off, boil fast till tender, about 20 to 25 minutes. When done, drain them and dry on a cloth. Put in a large saucepan a good-sized lump of butter and a little salt and pepper. Toss the sprouts in this until they become quite hot again, but do not fry them. Serve on a quartered round of buttered toast. Brussels sprouts maître d'hôtel. Boil the sprouts and then place them in a saucepan with a lump of butter and beat them well. Put half a pound of fresh butter in a pan with 2 tablespoons of chopped parsley, the juice of a couple of lemons, a little salt and white pepper, and mix together well with a spatula, and when it boils, stir quickly. Place the sprouts on a dish and turn the sauce over them. Brussels sprouts sautéed. 1 pound of Brussels sprouts should be thoroughly washed and boiled, and then put into a pan over the fire, together with a good-sized lump of butter, a little salt, and toss for 8 minutes. Sprinkle over them a little chopped parsley and serve when done. Baked mushrooms in cups. Peel and cut off the stalks of a dozen or more large fat mushrooms and chop up fine. Put the trimmings in a stewpan with some water or clear gravy and boil well. When nicely flavored, strain the liquor and return it to the stewpan with the mushrooms and a moderate quantity of finely chopped parsley. Season to taste with salt and pepper, and boil gently on the side of the stove for nearly 3/4 of an hour. Beat 4 eggs well in 1/2 teacupful of cream, and strain. When the mushrooms are ready, move the stewpan away from the fire and stir in the beaten eggs. Butter some small cups or molds, fill each with the mixture, and bake in a brisk oven. Prepare some white sauce. When baked, turn the mushrooms out of the molds on a hot dish, pour the sauce around them, and serve. Boiled chestnuts served as vegetables. Peel off the outside skin of the chestnuts and steep them in boiling water until the skin can be easily removed, and throw them into a bowl of cold water. Put 2 ounces of butter into a saucepan with 2 tablespoons of flour, and stir the whole over a fire until well mixed. Then pour in 1/2 pint or more of clear broth and continue stirring over the fire until it boils. Season with salt, throw in the chestnuts, and keep them simmering at the side of the fire until tender. When served in this way, they make a good vegetable for roasted meat or poultry, particularly turkey. Boiled corn. Choose short, thick ears of fresh corn. Remove all the husks except the inner layer. Strip that down far enough to remove the silk and any defective grains, and then replace it, and tie at the upper end of each ear of corn. Have ready a large pot half full of boiling water. Put in the corn and boil steadily for about 20 minutes, if the ears are large, and 15 minutes if they are small. Remove from the boiling water, take off the strings, and serve hot at once. If desirable, the inner husk may be removed before serving, but this must be done very quickly, and the ears covered with a napkin or a clean towel to prevent the heat from escaping. Serve plenty of salt, butter, and pepper with the corn. These may be mixed by heating them together, and served in a gravy bowl. Boiled onions with cream. Peel 12 medium-sized onions, pare the roots without cutting them. Place in a saucepan, cover with salted water, add a bunch of parsley, and boil for 45 minutes. Take them from the saucepan, place them on a dish, covering with 2 gills of cream sauce, mixed with 2 tablespoons of broth, garnish, and serve. Corn fritters. Prepare 4 ears of fresh corn by removing the outer husks and silks. Boil and then drain well. Cut the grains from the cob and place in a bowl, season with salt and pepper, add 1/4 pound of sifted flour, 2 eggs, and a 1/2 pint of cold milk. Stir vigorously, but do not beat, with a wooden spoon for 5 minutes, when it will be sufficiently firm. Butter a frying pan, place it on a fire, and with a ladle holding 1 gill put the mixture on the pan in 12 parts, being careful that they do not touch one another, and fry till of a good golden color, cooking for 4 or 5 minutes on each side. Dress them on a folded napkin and serve. Broiled eggplant. Peel an eggplant and cut it into 6 slices, each ½ inch thick. Put them into a dish and season with salt and pepper, and pour over them 1 tablespoon of sweet oil. Mix well, and arrange the slices of the eggplant on a broiler and broil on each side for 5 minutes. Then place on a dish which has been heated and pour over a gill of maître d'hôtel sauce and serve. Fried eggplant. Select a nice large eggplant, peel and remove the seeds, and cut into pieces about 1 1/2 inches long and 3/4 inch wide. Put them on a plate, sprinkle well with salt, and leave standing for an hour or so. Then wrap the pieces in a cloth, and twist it around so as to squeeze as much juice as possible from them without breaking. Sprinkle over with flour, covering each side well, and place them in a frying basket. Put a large lump of fat in a stewpan, and when it boils put it in the basket. As each plant is nicely browned, take out of the basket, sprinkle with salt, and lay on a sheet of paper in front of a fire so as to drain as free as possible from fat. Serve on a napkin spread over a hot dish. Eggplant fritters. Boil the eggplant in salted water mixed with a little lemon juice. When tender, skin, drain, and mash them. For every pint of pulp, add 1/2 breakfast cup full of flour, 2 well-beaten eggs, and season with salt and pepper to taste. Shape into fritters and fry in boiling fat until brown. Broiled mushrooms on toast. Trim off the stalks of the required quantity of large mushrooms, peel, score them once across the top, place them on a gridiron and grill over a slow fire, turning when done on one side. Trim the crusts off some slices of bread and toast on both sides. Cut rounds out of the toast the same size as the mushrooms, butter them, and place a mushroom on each. Put a lump of butter in each mushroom and sprinkle over with salt and pepper. Place a fancy dish paper on a hot dish and serve the mushrooms on toast with a garnish of fried parsley. Deviled mushrooms. Cut off the stalks even with the head, and peel and trim the mushrooms neatly. Brush them over inside with a paste brush dipped in warm butter, and season with salt and pepper and a small quantity of cayenne pepper. Put them on a gridiron and broil over a clear fire. When cooked, put the mushrooms on a hot dish and serve. Mushrooms in cream. Peel and trim the required quantity of mushrooms. Put some cream in a pan over the fire and season with salt and pepper to taste. Rub the mushrooms in salt and pepper, and as quickly as the cream comes to a boil, put them in and let boil for 4 minutes. Serve hot. Boiled Spanish onions. Boil Spanish onions in salted water 30 minutes. Drain and add butter or drippings, salt and pepper, covering the pan to prevent steam from escaping. Cook slowly for about 3 hours, basting frequently with drippings. Care should be taken that they do not burn. Baked onions. Put 6 large onions into a saucepan of water, or water and milk in equal proportions. Add salt and pepper and boil until tender. When done so, they can be easily mashed. Work them up with butter to the consistency of paste. Cover with breadcrumbs and bake in a moderate oven. If preferred, they may be boiled whole. Put in a baking dish covered with butter and breadcrumbs, then baked. Fried onions. Peel and slice into even rounds 4 medium-sized onions. Place them first in milk, then in flour. Fry in very hot fat for 8 minutes. Remove them carefully and lay on a cloth to dry. Place a folded napkin on a dish, lay the onions on, and serve very hot. Garnish with fried parsley. Glazed onions. Peel the onions and place in a saucepan with a little warmed butter. Add sugar and salt to taste. Pour over a little stock. Place over a moderate fire and cook slowly till quite tender and the outside brown. Remove and serve on a dish. a little of the liquor,